Yo, YouTube, what's crackalackajackasmacin? It's Waffleman with a video, and here we go again. Same old shit, just a brand new day. The season is over, man. Right now, it's playoffs time, and for another year, the Knicks don't even make the playoffs. We will not be seeing the Knicks play in the playoffs, so we're gonna have to be watching the other teams play, man. And if you do have a second team or a second player you like to cheer on, well, it's your time to cheer on because they're probably in the playoffs, unlike the Knicks. So I'm gonna be cheering on the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know, I love Seattle, so the Thunder are there. And you know, one of my favorite players is Russell Westbrook, so I'll be cheering the Thunder. But let's talk about the New York Knicks, of course. And of course, we got Carmelo Anthony and Phil Jackson. So Phil Jackson's exit meeting, man, you can see it on YouTube. The full conference is live. I'll put the link in the description. Shout out to Madison Square Garden Network, MSG. But I've watched it. You know, I skimmed through it. I think I watched it a couple of times, listening throughout, and I've got the gist of what Phil Jackson is saying. Now, first of all, Phil Jackson, man. Phil Jackson and Carmelo Anthony. First of all, well, let's talk about the Knicks in general, man. The Knicks had a disaster season, man. Just a disaster. When you talk about their starting lineup, the hopes that we have for their starting lineup, and to have all this stuff happen to the Knicks, it's just a disastrous season. And now, if you didn't hear, the Knicks also extended Phil Jackson's contract by 2 more years. So he's coming back. I guess he wants to finish what he started. But listen, man, if it's not working out, it's not working out. And Phil Jackson said a couple of things that caught my attention. First of all, he said that he never criticized Melo. Well, I don't know, man. His tweets say otherwise, even though he clarified in the press conference itself that his tweets wasn't saying anything negative about Carmelo Anthony, that his tweets were just stating the facts. And I'm sitting there like, really? But why would you even tweet about your player anyways? Why even talk publicly and trying to sneak this on your star player anyways? And then he goes on to say that Melo is a ball stopper, and that is facts. Again, even though everybody knows that, yeah, Carmelo Anthony stops the ball, you don't gotta call him a ball stopper. You don't gotta say he stops the ball, and you trying to run this triangle system where it's moving the ball, but you don't gotta say he stops the ball. And then after that, Phil Jackson is talking about Carmelo Anthony. We're not trying to make him into Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Didn't, when you signed Carmelo Anthony back, didn't when you came in as a president, you signed Carmelo Anthony, and then you said Carmelo Anthony in the triangle, he could just be like, he'll be just like Kobe or even Michael. He could turn out that way. He could make the triangle work to make the Knicks win. But now you want to backtrack and say we're not trying to make Carmelo into Kobe or Michael. Carmelo was never Kobe or Michael, or never, not even on that level. But yet you had to go and say Carmelo in the triangle, we could make him score like Kobe and Michael in the triangle, which could have been true. But at the same time, you shouldn't even put that immense pressure on a player like that. And then after that, right, Carmelo Anthony and Phil Jackson, they had their exit meeting. Again, we have some more confusion. Kristaps Porzingis apparently didn't even go to his exit meeting. So the Knicks, Phil Jackson's talking about all this stuff about how we're trying to develop young players, we're trying to create an identity, and I understand that the Knicks didn't have an identity. If you look at the Knicks, you don't know what they're good at. I mean, you look at the Cavs, you look at the Warriors, you say 3-point shooting. You look at the Rockets, you say 3-point shooting, fast break offense, we're going to outscore you. You look at the Spurs, you see defense, and you see, you know, holding their opponents down. Same thing with the Grizzlies. You see defense, you know, points allowed. But the Knicks, you look at the Knicks, and it's like, what are the Knicks, man? The Knicks aren't anything. They have no identity. We have this team of just a bunch of hooligans, and we're just out there doing whatever. And Phil Jackson is from the sidelines talking about implementing his triangle offense again. He says he wants to keep the system in place, even if it's going against Jeff Hornacek. He said that the system is going to allow for better defense and ball movement, and that's what he's trying to bring. And I understand that, man. I understand the fans want that in New York. They want ball movement. They want defense to be played. But right now, the triangle is not working. And you got to have people learn the triangle. The triangle's got to be consistent. And yo, it's just a system that's just not working out, man. And yeah, like I said before, man, Porzingis didn't go to his exit meeting with Phil Jackson because he was so disappointing in the organization that he didn't even want to go to his exit meeting. Like, think about this, man. This is our young star player. Our young star player didn't go to his exit meeting with the freaking president. What does that tell you? And then Phil Jackson has the nerve to say that his relationship with Carmelo Anthony won't affect free agents to come to New York? Are you serious, man? This place is a jungle. You don't think the free agents out there are looking at the Knicks are like, do we want to go there and play? That's a toxic environment. And Phil Jackson is going against it, saying he doesn't think that it doesn't affect them? Of course it affects them, man. You throw your player under the bus. You talk about your best player in public, sneak dissing him. And now your young star player Porzingis is not going to his exit meeting. What does that say about the organization, man? And you don't think that the free agents that come in here won't be impacted by this? They'll definitely be impacted by this. It's baloney to think they're not. And I'm just surprised that Porzingis didn't go because, like Phil Jackson said, Porzingis is only 21. He's probably not ready to handle the load yet, but still, for him not to go to this exit meeting, I mean, it's his second season. It's his second season. His second season. What's he got to lose to not go to go into the exit meeting? It's crazy, man. And then Phil Jackson talks about possibly bringing Derrick Rose back, saying we have options. No, Phil Jackson. That's the last thing you need to do. No offense to Derrick Rose. I hope he recovers well and stuff like that. But don't bring Derrick Rose back, man. He doesn't. I mean, you want your system to play defense, right? Derrick Rose doesn't play defense, and he's a scoring point guard. You said it yourself. He's a scoring point guard. You want to move the ball around with your freaking triangle system. Don't bring him back, man. We already tried. It's done. Let's just keep Porzingis. Like you said, keep Willie Hernangomez. I like him. Ron Baker's cool. Chasing Randall's cool. Those guys are all right, man. But get rid of Sasa Vujacic. You know, get rid of Carmelo if you have to. Get rid of Joakim if you can. Because it's done, man. It's done. And I understand, man. I understand. He said that the Knicks aren't taking. And right now, listen, the Knicks are tied with the Timberwolves in lottery odds. So we might get the 6th pick. We might get the 7th pick. Hell, we might even go even higher or lower than that, man. Because anything is possible. But I respect the decision not to tank, man. Listen, I respect the players, man. I understand you don't want to go out there and try to lose games on purpose. Even though there were ways that Phil Jackson could have did it himself. He could have traded Derrick Rose. He could have shut down Carmelo Anthony. Hell, he could have even let go of Derrick Rose and just waved him flat out. But he didn't do any of those steps, which made us win some of these games that are so pivotal in us into developing players, like he said, and drafting good players, which I believe the Knicks can do. The Knicks have actually some good draft picks in the previous years. I mean, Iman Shumpert, while he wasn't the greatest pick of the world, he's not like a superb great player. He's still a solid player at a late pick. Same thing with Landry Fields back in the day, even though he's washed up now. And even Tim Hardaway Jr. was an actually good pick if you look at him right now and the way he's playing. And that was a mid-first round pick. So I believe in the Knicks. And you see Porzingis right there. So I believe in the Knicks' ability to draft players, man. I'm just saying a lot's got to change in this organization before the Knicks can start winning. And Phil Jackson said Carmelo wasn't winning here, so why be here? He basically said in a subtle way that he doesn't want Carmelo Anthony here. And Carmelo Anthony posted on Instagram a face of Leonardo DiCaprio sitting down and him just laughing, saying, really? So Carmelo Anthony and Phil Jackson's beef is apparent, man. It's transparent. Everybody in the NBA can see it. But it's just a damn shame that the Knicks season came to this, man. And the way the Knicks end the season with this press conference, you know, I still don't understand what's the future going to be. I mean, is Carmelo Anthony going to be on the team? Even, listen, Phil Jackson said that even Porzingis is not untradeable. He said even Porzingis is not untradeable. Are you serious, man? I mean, he's making me cough now. Because he said Porzingis is not untradeable. Really? Our young star, 21 years of age, is not untradeable? He's on the block? He possibly could be on the block up for trade? It's crazy, man. But anyways, leave your thoughts in the comment section, man. You know, what you think about the Knicks season? What you think about Phil Jackson's press conference, man? Did you like it? What would you give it out of 10? I'd give it like a 5 out of 10, man. I understand where Phil Jackson's coming from, but I just don't like some of the things he said, man. And I don't agree with it. But anyways, like I said before, I'm out for now. Peace.